Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my first upload for months, and the reason being is because I've not found anything that I can really get into, no games I'm getting behind, but the first thing that I've got really passionate about recently is getting back into fantasy football. So I thought, you know what, there's quite a popular subculture of fantasy football on YouTube, so why don't I try and enter that, and I think I'll keep this sort of content up. I think every game week I'll make some sort of video talking about my team or whatever. This video, anyway, is just going to be me talking about my starting team for numerous reasons. First one being, well, obviously I want to show you who I've got, explain everything, explain my thinking behind things. There's a few things in here that I've taken from like experts of the game that I upload on YouTube. Some of the things are just my ideas. But also, I've been tinkering with my team like daily. I've been messing around. There's players, a lot of players that have been in this team that I've taken out, and I will talk about that as well as I go through the team. So I think if I upload this video, it's the final, the nail in the coffin, sort of, for this team. It's not in a negative sense, but the fact that it's done. I can't really think of the right phrase, but basically, once I've made this video, I won't change anything. And then, I just think that's better. So, because otherwise I'll be fiddling with it forever, and also that means that this time next week I'll upload a video of a completely different team to what I'm showing you now. So that'd be pointless. So yeah, this team is my team, 100% now. Right. So I'm just going to start with the bench actually, and that sounds weird. That's because I want to get through the cheap players and why I've picked them. There's one in the team actually as well, which you can see Bolly there, and I'll explain the Højbjerg, wan-bissaka, and Bolly. So wan-bissaka, unbelievably, to me anyway, I think I've researched guy. I think he's a Crystal Palace. Well, I know he's a Crystal Palace youth player. So he's going to be replacing their right back, which I think is that Ward guy. I might be wrong there. I might be wrong. But anyway, yeah, wan-bissaka, 4 million, and he's playing every pre-season game. That doesn't guarantee anything, but it looks pretty positive that he's going to be starting to me. I would say 80%. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to play him, but out of all the 4 million defenders, Bednarak is another one that I've had, but I've got rid of him since. Just because I wanted more variation in my defence. So yeah, wan-bissaka, 4 million. He might be useless, but I don't know. He might be great. But yeah, I fancy Palace as well. They've got a really good start to this season as well. So I've got, as you can see, I've actually got 3 Palace players in there. That's because they've got so many good fixtures. That might change eventually, I'm not sure. Højbjerg, quite a defensive player from what I can gather, but he's playing midfield for Southampton. Southampton was shocking last year, as we all know, but maybe they'll do a bit better this year. I think for 4.5 million as my 5th midfielder, it allows me to afford better players in my actual team. He's not a bad option. I think he's going to play pretty much all the time, so that's another good thing. So yeah, and then the other cheap player is Bolly. Now he's playing every game for Wolves in pre-season. Originally I didn't want to pick any promoted players because you don't know. Because I don't know enough about them really. Even though I support a Championship side, I don't really know much about them. And also Wolves and Fulham particularly have signed so many players. Well, Wolves even more particular on that. They've signed so many players you don't know who's going to play. But Bolly is a new signing, and he has played every game in pre-season. If there's anyone that's certain, it's him, and probably Patricio in there. But even people like Neves, Moutinho, Jota, I did have. Was it Hot? I had one of their Portuguese wingers in my team, and I since took him out. Just you don't know who's going to play. You just don't. And up front you've got Bonatini and Jimenez. They both play. I mean, I don't know. So yeah, Bolly's in there anyway. 4.5 million is another reason he's in there because he's cheap. And Wolves probably won't be awful. I doubt they'll go down. I don't think they're going to get this top 8 what people are talking about. But I don't think they're going to go down. I think they'll be all right. Probably get a couple of clean sheets. This guy actually did score in pre-season as well. So, yeah, he looks good to me. He's a good option for that price. Let's go keepers then. Now, this is the most copied thing out of this team. This is the thing I've stolen off. I can't remember the name of the channel. It's the big channel. Let me just have a look at it. Yeah, Fantasy Football Scout. And there's another guy who's on Fantasy Football Scout sometimes called Let's Talk FPL. He hasn't actually done this, but I'm just sort of telling you who I watch. So yeah, these Fantasy Football Scout, been watching them. A lot of people on there are talking Foster and Fabianski, both 4.5 million. Fabianski 4.5 million is ridiculously cheap, by the way. That to me, with West Ham, the way they're looking, it might all go wrong. It might be a bit like Everton last year, where you make all these signings and it doesn't really work. That won't surprise me with West Ham either. We know what they're like. But yeah, 4.5 million, 2 starting keepers. who between them at the start of the season will have an easy game each week. Well, not easy, but a reasonable game each week. So you're never going to have to put a keeper in net against a team like Man City or Liverpool. That's the point. Further down the line, I might change this, but for now, this is solid. Rotate them round when they need to. Obviously, Foster is a choice this week because Fabianski's playing against Liverpool. I don't actually think Liverpool are guaranteed to win that game or anything, but one thing I will guarantee is that there'll be goals. Like Liverpool will probably score 3 goals. West Ham might score 2 because that's the way Liverpool are as well. It doesn't really matter who's against them; they're probably going to concede. So, yeah, that sticks. Anyway, that's the thing behind that, and that actually leads me on talking about Liverpool's defence. You might be thinking, well, why have you got Alexander-Arnold in? And I'm sort of asking myself the same question because they don't really keep clean sheets, do they? I mean, I've not got any statistics to say that, but I've been to Liverpool games with my family who all support Liverpool, and every time it's like they'll start really well, score a few goals, but they always concede. Always concede. It's never unless they have one of those games where they score like 6. It's never a confident end to the game at times. Like they always look like, God, I feel like the opposite team could score 3 in 10 minutes. That's just something about them. They've always been shaky. They are looking better and better each year, though, so we give them a chance. I might go to Van Dijk over Arnold, I feel like Van Dijk is so good in the air. He seems to always win the headers. So I'm not sure about that. The other starting defender is Van Aanholt. Yeah, this is self-explanatory. This guy's been great for years in terms of not defending as such, but going forward. It's almost like feels like you got a midfielder in your defence. I was going to go for Masuaku because he's 4.5, but also he's a midfielder, and also I don't even know if he's going to play. That I like Masuaku a lot because he's so cheap. But as soon as I sort of saw his price, I was like, oh, I'll get him in. Then I realised, oh wait, I'm looking at midfielders. But that sort of fullback that's just come. Let's be honest, Palace, aren't the greatest team, but their defence was solid towards the end of last season. And with these easy fixtures, well, yeah, again, easy is a wrong word, but you know what I mean. They're not playing anyone great. They've got such a good opening that you just fancy them to maybe keep a clean sheet or 2. And Van Aanholt gets forward; he's always involved, and he's just Tomkin. I've never really been a fan of centre backs in fantasy football. I've won my friends' league like 2 years out of 5 or something. So I'm not then a complete idiot, but last year I had a disastrous year. I pulled it back towards the end, but I was just clueless throughout the year. This year I'm back on it. I'm sure I'm going to do much better this year. So I feel like I'm trustworthy enough to say Van Aanholt is a good option. 5.5 million is a lot actually, but I think there's a reason why he's gone up. I think the guys who run this website, well, whoever run FPL, are starting to take note. He's dangerous, isn't he? He's obviously dangerous. The midfield, then. One option I'm going to talk about in for literally 10 seconds, Salah. Obvious. Do I need to say anything? Will he score the same number of goals last year? Maybe not, but he's there. Any Liverpool attacker is good. Hence, I'll cover Firmino as well now shortly because he doesn't need much explaining either. I've got 2 out of their front 3 basically, Salah and Firmino. There's talk of Sturridge playing. That'd surprise me, and if it does happen, obviously I'll change it. But I think I'm confident enough that Firmino will play. I think having Salah and Firmino, if Liverpool score 5 goals on week, which happens a lot, you're going to get 2 or 3 goals there, hopefully, maybe, and probably some assists. So that's good. Mane would be great as well, but I don't want to go completely monopolise with Liverpool because if they play badly one week or whatever, it's going to be a nightmare. So yeah, anyway, Salah in there. Will he be captain every week? No. I like to vary up the captain anyway. Just feel like you've got to have some diversity to your opponents as well. Like if you're in a league where everyone's got Salah captain, then you might have to change your captain just in order to be able to maybe overtake them at times. Maybe that's not the best tactic, but I always feel like you've got to not always do what seems the most obvious at times in order to bag those points over whoever's in your league. Because if everyone's got captain Salah, it's boring as well. Anyway, moving on, Lucas. Might seem a bit strange. I think if you asked me this 2 weeks ago, Lucas, will he play for Spurs? I'd have said no. And I think most people who aren't Spurs fans would assume Lucas doesn't play, but he does play. He played a lot towards the end of last season, and I've looked at pre-season. He's played every game because they haven't got Kane back as well at the moment. Oh, that's another thing I quickly mention. A lot of World Cup players aren't back. I've got Mendy in there, and he's on the bench by the way because I don't fancy him against Arsenal. He's actually on my bench this week, but I actually want Trippier going forward overall. I do want Trippier, but he won't be playing because, like Kane, like Harry Maguire, like those sort of players, I think some of the Belgians, I think just all the people who got to the later stage of the tournament, they're not going to be playing straight away, so there'll be no Kane. Lucas has been playing up front with Llorente, as far as I can tell. I might be wrong, but that's what Flash Scores was telling me. But also, I think Lucas will get in the team because they need that pace. That's what Spurs sometimes lack. That they've got the creativity and stuff, but they haven't got those like really quick players at times. So I think he's something different. I think he's going to be in that team. If he's not, obviously I will change him. But I fancy Lucas at 7 million. It's not bad. Richarlison, 6.5 mil. If he was still at Watford, I would not have picked him, I'll be honest. But Everton, they've got, like, with Allardyce, it's just not, there's something not right there. Richarlison is that pace in their team, and also that, and he can score, but he's got a lot to offer, I think, to Everton, because Everton are lacking that sort of player. They've got Sigurdsson, obviously, but he's a bit slower and stuff. But I think this year they're gonna do well. Not well, but I think they'll do better than last year, which isn't hard. Although their pre-season has been abysmal. So again, Richarlison's another one that I'm watching. But the good thing about all these midfielders here, apart from Salah, is they're all like 6 to 7 mil. Oh, Bernardo Silva 7.5. We'll get onto him in a minute. But they're all like interchangeable. There's other players I can bring in. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head right now, if I'm being honest. Felipe Anderson, 7 million in midfield. I was looking at him. I've had him in my team. I've taken him out. But yeah, Felipe Anderson, I think, because he's basically going to be playing up front. He's moving on the wing next to Arnautovic. So I think Felipe Anderson, 7 million, might come in if one of these three, bar Salah, is not performing. Bernardo Silva, now, I would never. This is similar to Foster and Fabianski, completely stolen from the Fantasy Football Scout channel, from their discussions, because apparently Guardiola's, and a lot of them have got him in their team, because apparently Guardiola said something along the lines of, the team, right, like after the Community Shield or something, he said, as of now, the Man City team is Bernardo Silva plus 10 players. So he basically was saying, apparently, like, Bernardo Silva's guaranteed to start and the rest of the team is undecided. I mean, I don't know why he said that, because obviously Edison's going to play, but apart from that, like, yeah, he's kind of right. Well, obviously it's his choice anyway, but I mean, that's sort of something that always happens at Man City, because even there, with Aguero up front there, I'm worried about him not playing. But for Guardiola to come out and say someone will play means a lot, you know, because of these problems. So yeah, Bernardo Silva's in my team for now. As I say, I would never have picked that if I've not heard that news, but he's in there. Let's go to Aguero then. I've already covered Firmino. I'm not going to talk about him anymore. You know, we know he's not. I mean, actually, I will talk about him. Let's say so. Aguero's in there. Where Firmino is, we previously had Aubameyang, and we had Højbjerg was actually in the team, and we didn't have one of the more expensive midfielders. We had like two really cheap midfielders, basically. Didn't like that idea. In fact, no, maybe not, because I think Mendy's 6 million. So I think basically I said Aubameyang, but I had a weaker defence. But then I thought about what we're saying about Salah and Liverpool. Firmino came in 1.5 million less. Yes, I think Aubameyang will score a lot of goals, but I think Firmino will too. If he's their striker, he's going to score one or two, like, often. So, yeah, I mean, maybe Aubameyang comes back eventually, but for now, we've just got the one premium striker, which is Aguero. Hopefully he plays over Jesus. Again, Aguero's one that I don't really need to speak about. He's going to score if Man City score, basically, and he's playing. So Firmino instead of Aubameyang. If they were both the same price, I probably would just pick Aubameyang, but that says a lot about the fact that Firmino being only 1.5 million cheaper means he's actually a much better deal. Zaha. Now, Zaha is an interesting one, because that has previously been on Arnautovic numerous times. When I first made my team, I did actually have Zaha and Arnautovic, and then Aguero, I had Kane, and this is when I first made it, because I didn't know what I was doing. For God's sake, don't put Kane in there yet. He's not going to play straight away. And he's so much, I think he's like, I'm talking completely off the top of my head here, I might be completely wrong, but I think he's like 13 million. I think he's more than like anyone else. So yeah, I don't think it's worth it, having Kane, to be honest with you. When you can have so many good forwards, I've got 3 players here who will score goals this season. That's what I'm happy about. Kane would score goals as well, but he might have two as good quality players next to him. So yeah, Zaha is, for me, anyway, What am I talking about here? I'm talking about Kane for some reason. Zaha, for me, Palace have those great easy restart, run of fixtures, and Zaha is the main man up top there. That's no doubt. Whereas at West Ham with Arnautovic, you know, I love Arnautovic. I think he's great. I think in that, if we're talking last year, I would still say Arnautovic. But I just think the additions West Ham have made, it might end up in him getting more goals because he's getting more creation. I don't know, but I think Anderson and those sort of people, the goals might be spread around a bit more. Arnautovic might not become the sole focus anymore because that's what he sort of became like towards the end of last year. So that's why Zaha's in there, because I just think, let's say West Ham win 3-0, let's say Palace win 3-0. I fancy that Zaha might get 2 and the assist for the other, whereas Arnautovic, he might not even get 1 with the way they're building their team this year. They just look stronger all around. Arnautovic might fade out as being this star. I might be wrong, I don't know. But I don't know. It was a close one. It wasn't like I thought, God, definitely he's got Arnautovic out of this team. But yeah, I mean, what I could do is just have Aguero and Arnautovic, drop Firmino in and get like a slightly better midfielder. I'm still not sure about that though. So yeah, I basically covered all the team. Did I cover Mendy? The reason he's not playing is because they're playing Arsenal. I just don't think there's going to be a clean sheet there for some reason. I think Arsenal are going to start strongly. I'm not saying they're going to beat Man City, but I don't think there'll be a clean sheet. And Mendy might not even start this week. That's another thing I've got to look at. I just think those 3 players in my defence are definitely going to play this week, and they've got a good chance of getting a clean sheet, whereas Mendy just hasn't got that same confidence this week. Doesn't mean he's not going to play because he's 6 million. He's going to be in my team if he's playing. But yeah, that for me makes sense. I don't like benching expensive players, but I think this week that's reasonable. I think Everton have been poor in pre-season, so Wolves could easily get a clean sheet. Sorry, Van Aanholt, we all know, they're also playing Fulham, so not only could he score, but he could get a clean sheet. And Liverpool, although I love their defence, it is possible to get a clean sheet, especially uncertainty around West Ham. I do fancy that game. Personally, I do fancy that game to be like 4-3 or something stupid, because that's exactly what you expect from this new attacking West Ham team. That's what it looks to be, and with Liverpool's defence and ridiculous attack, you fancy a lot of goals. But yeah, anyway, that's basically a summary of my team. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know who you've got in your team. Let me know who your prime players are. Let me know who your cheap players are. Bednarak is at 4 million, as I said earlier. Wan-Bissaka for me, though, I'll recommend him massively. Let me know who that's a good thing. Put down in the comments if you watch this video who your just really cheap picks are, because that's the thing that makes these teams at times, like those players like wan-bissaka, because I love having the fact. I look at my team now and I think that there's a possibility that everybody in my squad, including the bench, will start this week, and that feels good. I think that's the most important thing with those cheap players. It's not always like, oh God, does he actually score? Because no, if he scored goals, he wouldn't be that price. But the fact that a player getting minutes and could do the one-off thing is good for the third bench player. Højbjerg, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be in this team a while. Not because I think he's good, just because for his price, there's no one likely to play as often. Hudson-Odoi potentially comes in for me, but I think if he plays, his price will go up straight away. So I'm still not sure about that. So yeah, Hudson-Odoi is he might play. He might start this week. Because there's no Hazard, no Willian. I don't think, for Chelsea. So Hudson-Odoi might be a shout. But I'm going to stick with Højbjerg, see how he goes on. He's only on the bench anyway, so it doesn't really matter right now. But yeah, anyway, that's my team. Thank you for watching this video if you've bothered to watch it. Please leave comments. I love discussing this stuff. So yeah, please leave comments. Please subscribe. Please like the video. And I will see you next week for another fantasy football video. Bye.